Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to an all-new video. Today, we are attempting to make Lewis Hamilton an 8-time Formula 1 World Champion inside F1 23, but that comes with a twist. A new short format race style, and I'm racing in cockpit camera. Will it go well? Will I crash? Will Bottle Job 212 strike again? Get yourself subscribed. Today we're racing at this venue on your screens, and let's get into qualifying. Well, here we are then, ladies and gentlemen. One-shot qualifying for the Bahrain Grand Prix and the first race of an all-new adventure. Yeah, really looking forward to getting into this series, of course, on the brand new channel as well. So if you aren't already, please do make sure you get yourself subscribed. But yeah, obviously quickly, just a couple of little bits and pieces to go into. First of all, I'm actually recording this on Xbox because I've run out of saves that I can use on PC. Plus it means that I don't have to go through and keep changing my camera settings between obviously these videos and the normal My Team ones. And also, unfortunately because of that as well, I can't actually replace Lewis Hamilton, so as you'll probably see in some of the off-board shots, we're actually number 43, and Lewis has put on a few pounds. If we get on the podium or we win a race or something like that, just as a bit of a pre-warning as well then. But yeah, the Ultimate AI, as normal, all 23 races on the Formula 1 calendar, but I thought this would be a good fun series to try and race in cockpit cam as well as we make our way in towards the final sector though. This first qualifying run of the year has been far from perfect. Car comes into the season third best on overall performance. Of course, between episodes, I'll be working away behind the scenes, trying to make sure we get everything sorted. But up towards the line, it's only P13 on the grid here in Sakhir. Is the team suffering with similar issues to last season? Well, Charles Leclerc, pole position, just like he did in 2022, but Perez able to get the better of reigning world champion Max Verstappen there to join him on the front row. The 16 thousandths of a second covering second through fourth there. Lando Norris and McLaren, they really do seem to have kicked on very nicely at the start of the new season, but we're going to be lining up P13 then here, ready for the Bahrain Grand Prix. We've got a lot of work to do today, but points is priority.
No more testing, no more practice. This is the real deal. And it's make or break here at round one of this year's Formula 1 World Championship. We'll be racing around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit today. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left down into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Norris, Sainz, Russell, Fernando Alonso, Oscar Piastri, Gasly, Stroll, Hulkenberg, Ocon, Lewis, Magnussen, Joe, Albon, Bottas, Tsunoda, Ricciardo, and Logan Sargent. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. I'm joined by Anthony Davidson at the start of a new season, and it is a clean slate. Absolutely anything is possible right now.
We're into those tense few minutes before the first race then. Everyone's a little bit nervous about reliability. They haven't been running in the hot, turbulent wake of other cars in practice. They've not been pushing at 100% for long durations. Let's hope no one has to deal with any nasty surprises.
Well, it's time then, ready for the Bahrain Grand Prix, round one of the new season. And as Anthony Davidson mentioning there, no one quite knows how reliability is going to be. I have left the simulation mechanical failures on as well, so an engine can blow up in this series. But of course, 35% races means it's only a 20-lap GP here. Obviously, the tyre wear, I believe, is staggered, so it is still like doing a 50% race normally inside F1 23, but I'm very excited but very nervous all at the same time. Ready on the grid then, here in Sakhir, everyone around me on softs. It's 5 red lights. It's going to be lights out, and away we go there. Try and get a good run down in towards turn 1, but immediately split the Haas and the Alpine there in towards the first corner are going to be 3 wide. Oh, and both of them just being very, very aggressive to try and squeeze me out in towards that first corner there. You can see a lot of battling going on up the road. Looks like Charles Leclerc and one of the Red Bulls seems to have been able to break free at the front of the field, but we haven't lost, haven't gained anything off the start of the GP. Is just and ahed about whether to go to the inside or the outside of Esteban Ocon up at turn 4. No opportunities there opening up in our favour, so we'll have to slot in as we make our way down in towards the middle sector, down the inside at the hairpin we will go. And are we going to make up a spot then on lap 1? Yes, we will. I'm in a P12 then of the Bahrain Grand Prix here. Nice and early on, of course, you know. Not necessarily feel like we're going to be able to fight for wins or podiums right at the start of the campaign. But yeah, definitely need good points. You know, a 23 race championship. Consistency is going to be everything. Of course, trying to make sure you're scoring points week in and week out here. We've got a very, very strong baseline in this Mercedes. We know we can fight towards the front of the field. But yeah, that's been a clean, tidy start. Just to confirm then, Charles Leclerc will lead at the end of lap 1. But looks like Carlos Sainz has got between the Red Bulls there. So that's really, really critical for him. We're going to try and have a look down the inside of Nico Hülkenberg at that first corner. And we will now inherit P11 then of the GP. So trying to get our elbows out nice and early. Well, I think battery management is going to play a big, big role today there. But you can see our top 5 starting to break away from the McLarens and the Aston Martins just behind them, as Gasly and I still at the back of this little train. But yeah, DRS enabled now. So we've got to just try and time it as to when we want to try and get a run on Pierre there, as we will get a nice run out of turn 4. Using plenty of battery. We'll accidentally have a look to the inside in the end of the Frenchman there. That was not quite what I had in mind, but we'll claim the place, I guess. We'll continue pushing on then. Into the points we go. Well, as we cross over 1/4 distance then, back inside the range. Yeah, we've got Gasly out of the DRS range, but we've had to use a little bit more battery than I'd like to try and get within the DRS of Lance Stroll. Of course, should now give us a bit of free time to recharge the pack behind him. But ideally, yeah, we need to be up with Alonso and the McLaren cars today. P6 is definitely possible here, as I believe Checo Perez is dropping down the order. Oh, Lance there braking very early into the final corner. Just had to try and avoid him. Make sure that I didn't lock up and run into the back of him and lose my front wing. But DRS now enabled then. Only a couple of laps before we box. Stroll is wary of us though. To the outside, we'll look in towards that first corner. Once again, it's been one of my favourite places to overtake, but not around the outside so far today. But we will swoop through. We will swoop up then and into P9 of the GP. Lance does have the DRS there, but clearly has destroyed his tyres because he couldn't get a run on the exit. Very, very happy to be coming off this set of tyres at the end of this lap. Have been dropping back behind Alonso and Piastri just by a little bit each and every time round. But yeah, there seems to be an even bigger battle forming a little way up the road there. But both Red Bulls opting to stay out, so clearly they're feeling a bit more confident. Lando Norris into the pit lane then as well, but hopefully we can get a clean, tidy first stop of the season. It nailed on the marks. Get it going. Come on, we need to go. We got held by the Alpine. That's going to cost us a little bit of time against some of our competitors there. You can see Lando Norris, the one to hards. So that's very, very interesting by McLaren. They're not confident about getting through to the end of the GP. I got no idea. There we go. It is that button, my pit lane limiter. But yeah, Stroll now all over my gearbox again as we get back down at turn 1. George into the pit lane then at the end of lap 10. We'll see if we've got any closer to him. But honestly, I think any undercut, we lost out because of Ocon. Here we go then. Keep your eyes on the top left-hand side. Hopefully we're going to gain some spots through the pits. There is Pierre Gasly. So we haven't lost anything then. Looks like Alonso might have lost out slightly to Pierre there. So we're still closer to the Aston Martin. He's also on hard, so we should have a big advantage towards the end. But because of those 3 DRS zones, one after the other here, it's so important you get into the range of the car in front. Looks like Oscar Piastri now actually hounding his teammate. Of course, Oscar Remember his debut Formula 1 race this weekend, so what a story that would be. George Russell takes new fastest lap of the day, but we are now in the range of Fernando Alonso. We've got a big opportunity to close up and gain some free time as we make our way back in towards turn 1 there. But yeah, that's really good from George. Showcases at least over 1 lap this car has got some good pace, as there are still battles going on at the road. There are places to be had in the final third of this GP. Oh, I can see the McLarens duking out a little bit further up the road. Alonso and I both sensing an opportunity here, as those hard tyres on Lando Norris's car really aren't working. The same can be said for Fernando Alonso just behind him. But are we going to be able to get close enough to the Aston Martin this time round? Lap 14 of 20 here in Bahrain. We are gaining once again. It's not enough though, unless we fully commit on the battery, but we haven't really got enough yet to go for it unless we're a lot closer. But yeah, those McLarens still side by side really is allowing both Fernando and I an opportunity to gain a lot of free time over the pair of them. As Piastri locks up at the top of the hill as well. What on earth is going on here? As Alonso there will have to park it on the exit. Can we get down the inside of the Spaniard, our former McLaren teammate? As we watch the McLarens fight in front, we had to hold firm there. Fernando Alonso, very fair racer, gave us the room on the inside. No contact was made. Team loving that, and now suddenly we are locked into a battle for P6 then of this GP. Lando Norris struggling, but he is really getting his elbows out. I think Oscar Piastri is going to get the run here as we make our way back down towards someone. Look at the way that McLaren launched there, using the battery straight around the outside of his teammate as we get back in towards the first corner there. But that will obviously mean Orlando will have the DRS off of the turn. Just getting a little bit caught up behind the McLaren though. We need to get past him ASAP. Otherwise Oscar Piastri going to try and use this opportunity to break free in front. Lando there, big wobble at the top of the hill, but it's not enough. Well, Oscar Piastri is having an absolutely phenomenal debut Formula 1 race here, but as we about to start lap 16, we need to try and get past his teammate. We're both going to have the DRS, so we're both going to be trying to hunt down the Australian. 5 laps of fuel left. Lando Norris is going to go defensive from the 7-time world champion to the outside in towards that first corner. We can see the McLaren front wing there still alongside us, but we'll make it through. We'll get clean around the outside there. We'll have the DRS off the corner. It's P6, and sorry, it's P7 even, but P6 is right there. Trying to be very strategic then. 3 laps to go of the Bahrain Grand Prix. We are still tucked up inside the DRS range of Oscar Piastri, but I'm just trying to save up a bit more energy in the pack here. We've seen how quick that McLaren is down the straights, so I want to just be able to go for one attempt on it and make it stick. Zhou Guanyu then, a mechanical failure just 2 laps from home here in Bahrain. Of course, overtook Lewis Hamilton here last season in his debut Grand Prix, but we've now got to start trying to go for it on Oscar Piastri then, with just a handful of miles to go in this GP. This has got to be one of the best debut races we have seen in Formula 1 in a long time there, but really trying to use the battery pack now, open up that DRS as well as we make the run back down towards turn 1. The Australian will go right, we will go left. Can we try and find it around the outside there? Not really confident on the brakes at turn 1 there. Oscar Piastri will try and set him up for the switch back off the corner there, really able to get the power down nice and early. To the inside we will go of Oscar there as we make our way, trying to spot the 100-meter board at the top of the hill. Into turn 4, we will run ourselves past him a little bit deep into the corner, but just make it very clear. Well, on to the final lap then of the Bahrain GP. Fernando Alonso very quietly has just snuck up towards my gearbox here, and his hard tyres clearly working for him towards the end of the race as we get a big moment out of turn 8, but Max Verstappen, I believe, is rounding his way into the final corners to win the opening race of the 2023 Formula 1 season. It's not over though. Between Alonso and myself, he's still trying to eye up a move in towards the final few corners here. We have our battles all day long. A little bit of a rough qualifying, but a fantastic recovery come race day Sunday. But in towards the final couple of corners, it's Perez. Perez, after all of that, has won the Bahrain Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc will come through for P2. Will it be P6 or will it be 7th for us as Alonso pushing us right to the line? Out of the final corner, we will hang on. It's P6 in the Bahrain Grand Prix.
That's it then for another spectacular Grand Prix here in Bahrain and a real champion's drive to take the win. And talk to me. What do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Sergio Perez takes the position of points leader in the Drivers' Championship. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
Well, you can't fault anything that Sergio Perez did out on the track today. He drove flawlessly, making him an easy pick.
It's time to check out the Constructors' standings. Red Bull take over as championship leaders. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula One.
Well, for the first time ever, Sergio Perez is going to lead a Formula One World Championship there. Charles Leclerc will come home for P2 ahead of Verstappen, barely ahead of Carlos Sainz there. So the Dutchman, reigning world champion, struggling to get a podium at the end of the day there. Russell and myself will come through for 5th and 6th there. Like I said, a disappointing qualifying, so I'm pretty happy with the recovery drive we put on, just hanging on ahead of Alonso come the end of the race there. The McLarens of Oscar Piastri in his debut race beating Lando Norris, with Gasly rounding out our top 10 there, able to steal a point away from Lance Stroll. Championship-wise, of course, same as the race result, but constructors there, Red Bull lead the way 10 ahead of Ferrari, who are a further 11 ahead of ourselves there. Aston Martin and McLaren tied on 6 points apiece. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and we'll be back very, very soon when the Lewis Hamilton career heads to Saudi Arabia. You guys do not want to miss that.